In year 2023, Sergeant Leo Barnes faces an extra challenge at Purge Night, an event that legalizes all types of crime for 12 hours, when he saves a mother and her daughter who prevents him from partaking in the killings. 2 hours before the annual Purge, Eva, a waitress, attends to her last customer. Mr. Sabian gives her a generous tip and tells her to stay safe before leaving. After Eva cleans the table, she joins her co-workers, Tanya and Carlos, who watch the news, which reminds non-purgers to steer clear of the streets. Tanya, Eva's friend, impatiently waits to end her shift while Carlos jokes of kidnapping Eva, who just nervously smiles. Finally, the manager, Mrs. Crawley, dismisses them, so the staff scrambles to leave. Carlos volunteers to take Eva home, but she declines. Tanya teases her friend and wonders if she asked Mrs. Crawley for a raise, to which she says no. Elsewhere, off-duty Sergeant Leo prepares for the upcoming carnage. He glances at a picture of his late son, whom he vows to avenge that night. Meanwhile, an estranged couple, Shane and Liz, listen into the car radio who debate the nature of the exploitative event. On the road, they watch people barricade their houses. Shane browses their old pictures while he nonchalantly replies to his wife's attempt to talk. On a billboard, the new Founding Fathers, or the NFFA's president, Donald Talbot, explains the reason behind the Purge, which is to address the nation's increasing crime rate. On Eva's way home, a man blocks and sells her cheap weapons for protection, but she dismisses him. When Eva reaches her apartment building, Diego, the caretaker who's interested in her, greets and offers to protect her. Uninterested, the woman declines and walks past him. In her room, Callie, Eva's daughter, watches the broadcast of an anti-purge group led by Carmelo. Her grandfather, Papa Rico, watches with her and calls its leader a lunatic. Carmelo denounces the NFFA's purge, which he declares only eradicates the poor to save the rich's money. Callie agrees, but Papa Rico claims he's all talk. Eva arrives home and argues with her father when he refuses to take his medicine. Callie stops them and pleads with Papa Rico to take it. The night before the commencement has everyone on edge, so the old man apologizes and announces he'll sleep all throughout. He reminds them to secure everything and says he loves them before entering his room. Eva excuses his unusual behavior, and Callie learns that her mother didn't get the raise they needed. Meanwhile, Liz and Shane approach their car outside the grocery when a painted man bumps into Shane and looks at them menacingly. A masked gang of purgers intimidates them from a distance, so they quickly drive away. In his apartment, Leo's ex-wife Janice knocks on his door. She sees stolen pictures of Warren Grass pinned on his wall. Warren accidentally killed Leo's son a year ago, so he plans to take him down. Janice tries to stop him but fails, so Leo tells her to leave. Meanwhile, Callie listens to Carmelo, who encourages the masses to fight back and stop the NFFA. Consequently, Papa Rico leaves a letter on his bed, silently leaves the apartment, and enters a limousine waiting for him outside. On the road, the couple argues about telling Shane's sister they're separating. Suddenly, their car loses power in the middle of the deserted highway. 45 minutes before the commencement, Leo drives his armored car out of his building. At the same time, Eva and Callie barricade their door and leave a gun on the table for assurance. Meanwhile, Liz and Shane frantically call their friends for help to no avail while a car passes them by. They discover their car leaking and hear motorbikes approaching. The gang from the store, who damaged their car, stops a few meters from the stranded couple and taunts them, so they begin to run. A few minutes before commencement, the emergency broadcast system airs on every screen in the nation, which reminds them of the regulations during the 12-hour purge. Finally, Liz and Shane reach the deserted city when the siren resounds through the streets, commencing the purge. Groups and individuals who participate lurk on the streets with different kinds of weapons and start committing every crime possible. On the road, Leo avoids a commotion on the highway and proceeds downtown. Meanwhile, Liz and Shane navigate the alley for a place to hide. Liz sees a dead body in a dumpster, so they run somewhere else. Shane sees the gang on the street, so he drags Liz away. In the apartment, Eva prepares dinner and ignores the sound of an explosion outside. Callie goes to invite her grandfather but learns that Papa Rico is nowhere. She calls her mother, and they read his letter, saying that he sold himself to a wealthy family for $100,000 to transfer to their account. Frantic, Callie realizes Carmelo's right and paces around, thinking they should save Papa Rico. In despair, Eva stops her daughter and accepts that he's gone. Suddenly, a loud noise distracts them, and they see the NFFA paramilitary swarm they're building. A loud bang shakes the other room, and they hear Diego call for Eva, who barges inside. Armed, Diego intends to assault the mother for ignoring his advances. Callie tells him off, but Diego threatens her, so Eva offers herself in exchange for her daughter's safety. Meanwhile, a purger on a skateboard finds Liz and Shane. The purger coos and signals his gang, who then pursues the couple. Enraged, Diego points his gun at Eva. However, noises distract him, whom he thinks comes from Papa Rico. Diego goes follows after the noise when bullets suddenly rain on him. Seeing the man dead, the two quickly hide in the closet. Eva sees the armed men enter from a mirror and slowly shut the closet. Then, they abruptly open the doors and discover Eva and Callie. One reports on his radio to a man called Big Daddy, saying that he found 2 people for him to purge. They drag the women downstairs while they thrash and struggle from their grip. They find bodies along the hallway while the platoon ransacks other rooms. On the streets, Leo finds a trailer truck blocking the way, which parks in front of Eva's building. Cautiously, he turns his headlights off and slowly approaches the vehicle. Then, Leo sees the armed men exit the building and drag Eva and her daughter. Callie grabs the street pole, so the man who carries her pulls and throws her on the ground. From a distance, Leo tells himself to ignore them and drive away. He even lets go of his gun to stop himself from intervening. Callie struggles and calls her mother, which triggers the sergeant, who was a parent himself. Leo grabs his gun and exits the car. He looks around for other purgers while approaching the group who hasn't seen him. Nearby, Liz and Shane hide beside Leo's car when they see the tailgate open in front of the platoon. Shane learns that the car is unlocked, so they hide inside. From behind, the sergeant kills the armed men. Then, Leo hides beside the truck and guns Big Daddy down beside his machine gun. Without a word, Leo walks away, but his conscience doesn't let him abandon the helpless women. The sergeant returns and beckons the two into his car. However, he finds Liz and Shane hiding inside. Irritated, Leo demands them to get out at gunpoint, but the unarmed couple pleads to let them stay. Then, Callie notices Big Daddy recovering, so she alarms the group, which leaves Leo no choice but to get inside. On her side, Liz sees the gang, so she urges Leo to drive immediately. Big Daddy fires at the bulletproof car just as they turn the road. Then, he aims at the gang, who also flees the area. Losing the purgers, Eva ensures Callie's safety, who asks Leo in turn. Instead of answering, the sergeant demands to know the reason behind their pursuers. Nevertheless, Leo doesn't disclose his motive on Purge night. By the road, they see a girl covered in blood, reminding them they're still unsafe. Callie asks where they're heading when Leo's car breaks down. Unfortunately, Big Daddy used armor-piercing bullets, which pierced the vehicle. Liz suggests they remain inside until Purge ends, but the sergeant disagrees. Leo regrets helping the group and announces that he's leaving them, so everyone protests. He hands them each a gun from his trunk and walks away. Then, Eva claims that she can get him a car from her friend in the city only if he helps them get there safely. Hearing this, Leo walks back and hands her a phone to call Tanya and inform her of their plan. Afterward, the group moves on foot, unaware of security cameras on the building. They reach an open road and stop when bullets fire from above. Someone who calls herself God's right hand stands on a roof and fires at whoever she sees. When the purger turns around, they successfully cross the street. Leo reminds them of their plan when they see the gang throw their victim into their van at the intersection. When they leave, Shane disagrees with Leo's plan and falls into a trap that alarms the neighborhood. The sergeant kills a homeless man who charges them, and he shoots the others in their building. Shane shoots at the trap and frees himself. More people run after them, so they sprint down the street. Meanwhile, the government's broadcasting station announces 6 hours left to purge when the resistance hijacks their signal. Carmelo says that the NFFA threatens their nation's democracy and tells everyone to wake up. Arriving at the business district, Shane expresses his concerns about the sergeant who's out to purge. Callie attempts to talk to Leo, so the sergeant establishes a no-talking rule. They pass a bank, where a dead broker hangs with a sign saying he stole people's pensions. Then, they see Big Daddy's abandoned truck littered with the troopers' dead bodies. A wounded man lunges at Liz and asks for help, but he passes away immediately. Leo approaches the vehicle and sees the bullet shells from the machine gun. He beckons the group over and climbs the truck. They discover monitors which access the city's traffic cameras, implying that the government hired the armed men. On a screen, Eva sees their apartment encircled along with others, confirming that they're targeted. On the truck's wall, Callie notices the NFFA logo crossed out, realizing that Carmelo's group must have done this. Then, another large truck approaches their way, so they steal some weapons and leave. Across the subway, Liz screams when a rat climbs her leg, alerting purgers. One finds Leo's group, so Leo quietly strangles him until he no longer breathes. In the subway tunnel, Callie confronts Leo about his motives, but he doesn't tell her that she reminds him of his late son. Knowing he's out to purge, the teenager tries to talk him out of it, so Leo finds her annoying and tells her off. Seconds later, the sergeant removes his safety vest and puts it on Callie as he feels ashamed of his behavior towards her. Moving forward, Leo finds refugees who hide between the tunnel spaces for protection. Suddenly, a gang behind them ransacks the subway and sets the refugees on fire. Leo's group dashes the trail when Eva trips and falls, which slows them down. The sergeant carries the woman and runs. However, Shane realizes the gang will reach them, so he stops and fires at the purgers. Liz joins her husband, who gets hit. The couple continuously fires at them until Shane shoots their driver. The vehicle swerves and explodes, which instantly kills the Purgers. Meanwhile, Eva, Callie, and Leo reach the other station and wait for the couple. When they arrive, they continue to run toward Tanya's apartment. Unaware, a security camera recognizes the group while another trailer veers the road to locate them. Finally, Eva sees the building, so they run back door where Tanya welcomes them. Inside, Leo cleans Shane's wound and the family invites them to dinner, where Tanya and her sister Lorraine mock each other. Then, Lorraine's husband and father, Roddy and Barney, return to the flat after scouting their area. Barney assures them they're non-purgers, but Tanya, who's been drinking, disagrees. Leo asks for a clean shirt, so he enters a room and eyes Tanya as she takes some pills and composes herself in the washroom. At the living room, Shane and his wife rekindle their relationship when Liz realizes she doesn't want to lose him. Then, Tanya re-enters the room and invites Roddy to dance. Leo pulls Eva to the corner and says he must leave. However, the woman admits that she lied about the car. Betrayed, Leo reveals that he's doing it for his son and grabs his stuff. Callie tries to stop him from leaving and blocks his way. Suddenly, Lorraine fires a gun at her sister, startling everyone. Her mother tries to intervene, but Lorraine punches her and reveals that her sister is cheating with her husband. Roddy begs his wife to stop, but she shoots him and misses. The man grabs Liz at gunpoint, thinking Lorraine wouldn't harm an innocent person. Then, Leo shoots Roddy's leg, which disables him, but his wife shoots him since she must be the one to kill her husband. Leo and Lorraine exchange bullets while the sergeant bides time for his company to escape the flat. Nowhere to go, the group suddenly hears the militia outside. Unaware, they located them through the traffic cams. Leo exits to check on their pursuers, where he hears Big Daddy command the troop to kill the sergeant and capture Eva and Callie. Then, Leo returns and leads the group back door to climb over the fence. He tells Eva to run for their lives while he hides, just as the troop storms their way. When they're gone, Leo climbs the fence. Immediately, the masked gang attacks him after capturing his group. Inside the van, one man unmasks and reveals that they're kidnapping people for money. Suddenly, the vehicle stops, so the men push them outside. The gang receives their shares while guards lead Leo's group inside the building. On a stage, the guards make the group kneel along with some civilians. Then, the curtains in front of them rise and reveal an audience of upper-class people where applause erupts from the crowd. The lady host showcases them and invites the crowd to participate in their last purge of the evening with a starting price. Soon, the Lockhart couple, Hanover sisters, and Mr. Hurst and his sons wish to partake in the hunt. The host muses over the weapons the purgers may use and bids them good luck. Then, the guards lead the group in a makeshift park while onlookers watch behind a protective glass. Leo leads his group and hides behind a solid wall. The purgers enter the arena with night vision goggles and their chosen weapons. They chant, thanking the founding fathers for allowing them to purge. Afterward, the group hears gunshots, and Leo quietly informs them that he'll hunt and retrieve a night vision goggle. The sergeant cautiously lurks in the dark, tackles Mr. Lockhart on the ground, and breaks his neck. However, another fires at him, so Leo takes his gun and kills him. Wearing the night vision goggles, he encounters the Hanover sisters, who use blades and kills them. He takes the goggles and weapons and fires at the audience. Leo reunites with his group and hands them weapons. Liz kills another purger but sees the other two leave the hall. Apparently, the host calls for backup. Suddenly, the lights switch on, and guards swarm the area. Trapped, Leo encourages them to fight until the end, so Shane professes his love to Liz despite their estrangement, but a guard fires at them and kills Shane. Suddenly, an explosion from outside triggers the alarm. A smoke canister is thrown inside the arena while the anti-purge group fires at the guards. Confused, the upper-class crowd escapes in a hurry. The group's rescuers overwhelm the guards while their leader, Carmelo, enters the hall. As chaos ensues, Liz insists on staying behind, embracing her dead beloved. Leo, Eva, and Callie bid their goodbyes and leave. Then, Leo threatens the host out of her car but lets her escape. They enter the vehicle and learn that the purge ends in less than an hour. Determined, Leo drives into his target's place with the two. Later, the sergeant stops near Warren Grass's house. He discloses that his son died a year ago from a road accident. The suspected man, Warren, was drunk and was found innocent by technicality. Over the year, Leo stalked Warren and disabled his back barricade weeks ago. He yells at Callie, who tries to stop him from purging. Then, Leo enters through the hijacked door and retrieves a knife from the kitchen. 5 minutes left. He wakes Warren beside his wife and throws him on the ground. Outraged, Leo points the knife at him while the man begs for his life. Afterward, Leo exits the house when Big Daddy shoots him. He finds the sergeant's identity, leading him to Warren's house, and reveals that the NFFA supplements the lack of killings during the purge to reach its goals. Then, he points a gun at the sergeant's head when Warren, whom Leo spared, kills Big Daddy. Just as reinforcements come, the sirens blare, ending the purge. Eva and Callie frantically take Leo into the hospital with Warren's help. Meanwhile, officials and paramedics flood the city and cleans after the carnage while the NFFA counts down the next purge.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.